Good afternoon and welcome to this vlog. I am talking about my final few harvests. I've harvested more tomatoes today and I've taken off my last few grapes. Uh, Now, the tomatoes is not my first harvest. This is the third, I think maybe fourth harvest. When I look at the garden, it doesn't look like all these tomatoes and the past ones came from this garden, but they did. There's my second harvest with some berries, of which I harvest quite a few from time to time as well. And I'm winding down because the season is coming to an end. It's coming to autumn. I have some potatoes down there where I just showed you the camera. That's the second set of potatoes. I harvest potatoes. I probably harvested about 2 kilos of potatoes. What I have here is, as I said, the third or maybe I think third harvest of tomatoes. I've still got some tomatoes on the vine. Now in this pot, I am trying for the first time to plant some lettuce. Not lettuce, I beg your pardon, it's kale. For the very first time, because I understand the time to plant them is around now, early August actually. So maybe I'm late. And then I've also got this rose. These are rose seeds, winter hardy rose seeds, of which I would like to plant because I've got fence right here, which is being constructed. It's not totally complete yet. They're putting trellis on top of it. And I thought that I would buy the rose plants and actually try them in growing them in pots. So that's that. And with my grapes, there is the grapevine, the very first grapevine I ever put up, and it's about 2 years old, I believe. I bought it as a small plant, and they taste quite sweet actually, although they are not uh, into at their mature stage, as you can see. This is their very first fruit from the vine, and I believe I got approximately 10 branches of this grape, meaning that if this grape was an adult vine, it will produce a significant amount of grapes, potentially each season. But its time has come now, and I've cut it back, and it's going back into hibernation, as it were, for the season. Is going to, I believe I'm going to try and cover it up somehow just to protect it from the frost. So what I would do with these grapes is that this is probably my second harvest. I harvested some more and I would put them to dry in the sun. I don't have the image or video of it here, and that's what I would do with it. So there we are. Generally a really good learning curve. I've quite learned quite a lot on how to look after a grapevine from babyhood up to now. Now, the next thing I'd like to talk about is my melon plant. Now, this melon plant that you see here was initially thought to be a cucumber. I mistook it for a cucumber. Then, when it took time to actually develop a fruit, I thought, what's going on with it? And then I saw fruits on it. They looked like a cucumber shape, looked like a cucumber, but then started rounding and becoming round. All in all, what happened to it? There is the cucumber in the ground. This particular cucumber I just showed you was in a pot. And if you've been watching my videos regularly, you might have seen a video I did. And I said I was putting eggshells in my cucumber plant, but actually it came to, become a melon. Now, no, it's not because I did recognize it, but in its early stages, it was very tiny. And it looked like a melon. It honestly, I mean, a cucumber, it really did. Then it took longer and became rounder. And I thought, oh, that is the melon that you planted. And indeed, I did plant melons and cucumbers, but I mixed them up and I didn't know what happened to the cucumbers. My cucumbers did not do too well this year, eaten by slugs, maybe too much rain or not enough sun, or the soil wasn't right. Something went wrong. And I've done well with cucumbers in the past, but this time I just don't know. So, as you can say, that is it. It dried up. The melon, some of them, just died up before they even got to this particular stage. And I think uh, the universe or whatever it is, my farming skills or whatever it is, I was just meant to learn, and I absolutely love making the errors. I learn from them, and I don't mind at all. So all in all, I got this one melon, and it's not even ready in itself, but I'm just looking at it to observe it and to ask myself what went wrong. Was it because the pot was not deep enough? Was the roots were not able to spread enough? But having said that, the plant you saw down on the floor earlier on was actually a melon. The plants, the melon plants in the ground have actually just struggled to grow. They really have. And they haven't done so well. And they didn't even go anywhere near getting any fruits like the tinier ones that you saw on the plant that this particular melon came from. So there's something to learn there. And I think that it is my soil with a mixture of maybe I planted them too early or too late. I think I was somewhere in between. And I think also my soil is probably not the best for this particular um, melons. The soil here is fertile, and we're discussing this with my neighbors, and we agree that the soil is fertile because she also plants and gets quite a good crop, some good crops. So that is it. This very beautiful melon came from potted plant. It's not in its full stage, but I took it off because it's a vine. It's the rest of its stem had dried off and died off anyway. It was starving. It wasn't getting enough nutrient anyway. So it was time to let it go. Now, if you're here for the first time, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Jacqueline, and I talk about a range of topics. Um, Gardening is one of my passions. I do a lot of gardening in summer, and now I'm hoping to do gardening into the autumn. I've just planted some kale today, and I'm hoping that that can be a start to me observing how they're going to do. In fact, the seeds were so few and so tiny. I really don't know how they're going to do, and they were flying everywhere when I was trying to plant them. So that's that. And the purpose of this video as well is to just really show you that you can grow crops, you can grow some vegetables, you can get something out of your seemingly small garden. You can do potted plants. Tomatoes are doing particularly well in pots. Cucumbers can do well in pots. I've done that before in previous years. I've got some berries here. You can actually get some grape seeds and plant them, or you can get a small vine and start that way. I think mine was a small vine that came ready. That's how I started it. And you can learn from there, and you can just nurture plants. Very therapeutic. It gets you out in the sun even when you sometimes don't actually feel like coming out. You say, oh, I'm going out, the sun's out, let me trim my plants, let me do some dig up, let me water my plants. It really gets you out. So it's a very, very wonderful thing to actually have and to actually to do. And besides, there are savings to be made in terms of food. So I'm very grateful for this year's harvest. I've learned a lot. Could I have done better? Could I have got a lot more? Probably. But we are always learning. So if you're here for the first time on this channel, we talk about a range of topics. This is one of them: gardening, food and cooking, shopping. I believe that my food videos will go into kind of being more aware of our food budgets. As the cost of living increases and food gets more expensive, what are the things we can do in order to enable ourselves to actually do well with that? Until next time, God bless you. Bye.